Save me!
He was trapped in a wooden box. The year was 1922. Prohibition had turned America into a smuggler's paradise, but it wasn't just bootleg whiskey crossing our borders. Along the California coast, high-grade Chinese opium arriving by the ton and selling so cheap it was destroying the established drug trade.
California authorities were desperate for help. The chief called in Ezra Marks.
Get to San Diego.
The chief snapped.
All the intel we have is here. You'll have to dig up the rest yourself.
Marks took his assignment seriously.
He adopted the persona of a derelict to avoid suspicion. He learned that a man named Sprague, an American, was the mastermind of the opium ring. But Sprague was a ghost, leaving no trace. Months passed without a word from Marks, causing the chief to worry. One night, wandering through Chinatown, Marks heard a shrill cry, a woman in mortal danger. He froze, then saw a house door burst open. A figure, dressed in embroidered silk, darted out. It was a woman, the same woman whose stifled scream he'd heard. Close behind her raced two large Chinese men, faces contorted with rage.
Save me!
She panted, seeking refuge behind Marks. He knew he was in a fight he couldn't win, but he had to divert them, hoping the girl could escape. As he struggled, one of the men raised a short-handled axe, a weapon of Tong warfare. The blade descended towards Marks, but the girl's arm shot out, deflecting the blow. The hatchet whistled past his head. As he tried to reposition himself, he tripped, losing his balance. He saw an arc of light, heard the girl's muffled cry, and felt a searing pain. Blackness.
He woke disoriented, hearing a faint voice calling,
Spray, 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 spray.
He was trapped in a wooden box, surrounded by others like it. Coffins. And they were filled with cans of opium. He peered through a crack in the wall into an adjoining room. 3 Chinese men, high-ranking, were sorting money. Then a fourth entered, one of his attackers from the street. The girl had called him Hua Li, High Priest of the Flower of Heaven. He barked orders in English, then removed his silk jacket and his mandarin's cap, pulling off a wig of coal-black hair. Hua Li was Sprague, an American masquerading as Chinese to smuggle opium. They were planning a massive operation, using coffins to smuggle the drugs across the border. Marks stiffened. He was hearing his own death sentence. They planned to smuggle his body in a coffin, packed with opium for the ultimate deception. He quietly slipped his automatic from his hip. A gift from the girl who had placed it there. He heard footsteps. The door opened. Sprague, his men, and the girl entered. Marks made his move. Sprague fired. The girl, with a swift blow, plunged the room into darkness. A chaotic gunfight erupted. Marks hitting his chest, the sounds of moans confirming his shots. When police arrived, they found Sprague dead, one of Marks's bullets through his brain. The 3 Chinamen were wounded, but the girl, Anita, lay dead in a corner. No one knew if Marks's bullet or Sprague's men killed her for extinguishing the lantern, a selfless act that saved Marks's life. The raid that followed broke up the entire smuggling ring. Ships full of opium were seized, and hidden burial grounds packed with drugs were discovered across the border. Marks ensured Anita received a decent funeral and a memorial.